Hey guys, it's Christian with Artful Glow, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel where I talk about the art of candle making and my journey as a small business owner. If you are a returning viewer, then welcome back. I have a very special episode for you today because Makesy reached out and asked if I would be interested in reviewing their latest Destinations Fragrance Oil Discovery Kit, and you all know me and how much I love doing fragrance reviews, so of course my response was a resounding yes. The kit was just released on March 21st for National Fragrance Day. Makesy also hooked me up with an affiliate link, which I will share in the description below, and you can use that link to save 10% on this new Discovery Kit or any Makesy products. Even though Makesy has provided these oils for today's review, I assure you that my feedback remains as unbiased as ever. It's important to keep in mind that fragrance preferences are highly personal. What resonates with me might not appeal to you, and vice versa. Therefore, I'm committed to giving you the most accurate description of these scents to help guide you on your own fragrance journey. Remember, it's all about discovering what speaks to you personally in the world of fragrance. As a part of this review and to celebrate Artful Glow's new affiliation with Makesy, I'm going to take a few of my favorite fragrances here today and make candles with them using various Makesy wood wicks and their aura vessels. So be on the lookout for that follow-up video. Before I get started today, let me just talk about Makesy and my experience with them. Makesy is based in Irvine, California, which is the city next door to Costa Mesa, where I am. I've been working on a new line of premium 7-ounce wood wick candles called the Maestro Collection, which will be available soon on my own website, artfulglowcandle.com, as well as on my Etsy store, and I'll provide links to those in the description below. That new line uses wood wicks that I purchased from Makesy, and I have gone to the location in Irvine a few times to pick up those wicks, where they have a little showroom with their products displayed. But beyond that, this was the only real interaction I had with Makesy or their products. I had never experienced their fragrances or any products other than their single ply wood wicks. So when they reached out to me about becoming an affiliate and sampling those oils, I was super excited because it was something I had wanted to do for a while. My impression of Makesy is that they are a wholesale supply company or hobby supply company similar to Candle Science, and that they provide a very comprehensive experience for candle makers or makers in general, because they do offer a wide range of products for making all sorts of things. But Makesy is definitely on the higher end. You can just tell by looking at their website that they spend a lot of time and money on branding and making everything clean and very professional. They have videos and tutorials on how to make a wide variety of crafts, and of course, they sell everything you need to make candles and soaps. Really too many products for me to discuss in this video, so check out the Makesy website when you have time to explore it. So, something amusing happened during my last visit to Makesy. I've been there a few times, but on this occasion, I decided to linger just a little bit longer. And I'm sure glad I did, because I stumbled upon this special section right off their showroom dedicated entirely to their fragrances. I was in my element sampling away. By the way, their scents were absolutely amazing. I found myself loving most of them. Then out of the blue, Charlotte from Makesy, someone I've seen in the Makesy candle making tutorials, walked by to fetch a guest out of the lobby. I had this moment like, wow, that's actually Charlotte. It was one of those surreal fan moments for me, given how much I enjoy watching her content. For me, it's just really funny because, like you, I spend a lot of time watching candle making videos for a number of different candle makers, so seeing someone in person is just so exciting for me. Anyways, the 10 fragrances I'm going to review for you today are all from Makesy's Destinations Fragrance Oil Discovery Kit, and they are Fleur de Provence and Vanilla Lumiere, Moroccan Orris and Pink Suede, Wild African Violets and Black Tonka, Santorini Figs and Crystalline Linen, Phuket Paradise and Ginger Glow, Copacabana Charm and Tropical Paradise, Japanese Onsen and Forest Bathing, Bora Nectar and Paradise Orchid, California Blossoms and Citrus Zephyr, and Sicily Summer and Musk du Soleil. The names of these fragrances alone sound super high-end and very interesting to me. Also, let me show you the packaging these oils arrived in. The packaging adorned with the embossed Makesy logo is not just visually appealing, but also impressively sturdy. And they've even included fragrance strips, bringing the whole unboxing experience to another level, which is just wild for a wholesaler to take the time and effort to do. I personally really appreciate that because it gives me some inspiration for my own packaging, and of course this is one of the reasons you pay more for Makesy products. But right off the top, from the moment you get this, you know you're going to get some high quality oils. In addition to the presentation, many of these oils are carcinogen-free, cruelty-free, mutagen-free, paraben-free, phthalate-free, toxin-free, and vegan. So they are committed to the environment and to your health, and that's something I'm always willing to pay more for. I will say I noticed when doing my research for this episode that not all Makesy fragrance oils are listed as free of all of these ingredients. So please, before you purchase, check the Makesy website and read their product descriptions thoroughly. And if ever in doubt, contact the manufacturer for product questions. Also, while I made this review specifically with candles in mind, many, if not all the oils reviewed here today have a variety of applications, including for diffusers, soaps, body sprays, perfumes, and even more. But again, check the Makesy website for specific applications and usage ideas. So, first we have Fleur de Provence and Vanilla Lumiere. Makesy describes this fragrance as capturing Provence's blossoming fields blended with the warmth of sheer vanilla, evoking serenity and beauty under a sun-drenched sky. Top notes of clementine and wild osmanthus and lemon leaf lead the way to heart notes of lily of the valley, star jasmine, and heliotrope, with base notes of vanilla orchid, ambrette, and cashmere musk. This fragrance contains some essential oils, orange and lemon, which I just will note that essential oils, while 100% natural, which is great, they do not typically throw as well in a burning candle. So I will be curious if that affects the hot throw and wax. But let me dig in and try this Fleur de Provence and Vanilla Lumiere by Makesy. Oh wow, I just really love this beautiful and mellow fragrance. I really get the sweetness of the osmanthus, but this is a very natural floral type sweetness. I'm actually getting the lily of the valley now along with the jasmine and just a lot of mellow floral notes. The vanilla, orchid, and cashmere are also at play here through the entire experience, making it overall a very pleasant floral with the cozy qualities of cashmere and vanilla. This is an outstanding floral fragrance that is also clean and inviting at the same time. The throw out of the bottle and on the strip, I'm going to say, is about average. This is not a fragrance that assaults your senses, but you want to keep taking it in and exploring it more. I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 5 for my out of the bottle review. Very nice, and again, this is Fleur de Provence and Vanilla Lumiere. Next up, we have Moroccan Orris and Pink Suede, another very upscale sounding name that in my opinion would look great on a candle label just as it is. Also, I will tell you that I have recently been researching a lot about Morocco as a possible travel destination, so I'm extra excited about this one. Orris is the dried root of the iris flower, which has a faint sweet aroma but frequently used for its power to strengthen other fragrances and perfumes. I have not sampled any fragrances recently that I know of that use it, so I'm very excited to see how that will work with Pink Suede, which I can only imagine has a leathery scent to it. Makesy describes this fragrance as a revealing and gentle embrace of blushed suede and amber at its heart, capturing the exotic roots of floral of Morocco's alluring markets. With every breath, it weaves balance and luxury. Top notes are sparkling bergamot, clove, and bronzed leaves. Heart notes are amber crystals, blushed suede, and violet petals, and base notes are Mediterranean orris root, tobacco flower, and smoky guaiac wood. This one uses a lot of essential oils which are listed on the Makesy website, so again, very natural, but I'm curious about how that will affect this fragrance oil's hot throw and wax. This is Moroccan Orris and Pink Suede. Yeah, so this is a more masculine leaning fragrance. I get spice, leather, and earth. The throw out of the bottle and on the strip for me is slightly below average, but the fragrance is so intriguing that I just want to keep smelling it, trying to unlock those beautiful base notes. Even though it's more masculine, the sweetness of that orris root really makes this for anyone, but I can see this as a candle burning like in a high-end barber shop or spa. This is a very luxurious fragrance, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 as well for my out of the bottle review. This is Moroccan Orris and Pink Suede. Next, I have African Violets and Black Tonka. Makesy says about this fragrance oil that it melds the delicate allure of wild African violets with velvety black tonka beans and a whisper of smoke, creating a mysterious and enchanting essence. Top notes are white jasmine, black fig. Middle notes are smoked violet, mate tea, and tonka, with base notes of clove leaves and vanilla bean. This one does contain vanillin if wax discoloration concerns you, and it does not contain any essential oils. This is wild African violets and black tonka. You know, I really was not expecting to like this one as much as I do. The white jasmine starts this for me with a fleeting floral moment, and then I get the tea. Quite strong, the tea, which I love, followed by smoked violet, which is more floral, but adding the smokiness to it is very clever because I'm like, is it feminine or masculine? Is it sweet or is it spicy, musky or floral? Yeah, very interesting and complex. I just want to keep smelling it. And then I get the spice of the clove and the comfort of that vanilla. I love vanilla in candles, by the way. Not so much when it's just like in your face vanilla, but when it's mixed in with other fragrances, it just works so beautifully. Wow, this is an amazing fragrance. The fragrance throw in this one out of the bottle and on the strip is a bit stronger than the last two as well. So I will say it's an average or slightly above average fragrance throw. Yeah, this is another 5-star oil out of the bottle. Amazing. This is Wild African Violets and Black Tonka. Before we jump into the next fragrance review, I just want to take a quick moment to say, if you like this video, hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel would mean so much to me. It not only helps me understand which episodes you all enjoy the most, but also supports the channel in achieving my goal of bringing you the best content possible. And while you're at it, don't forget to ring that notification bell. That way, you're always updated when I release new videos, including the follow-up episode to this video, where I'll review my favorite picks from this new Destinations Discovery Kit. Thank you so much for all your support. I really appreciate it. So next up we have Santorini Figs and Crystalline Linen. A lot of linen fragrances this spring and summer from various fragrance companies, so I'm really excited to sample this one. Makesy says this fragrance oil evokes Santorini's enchanting allure, highlighting succulent figs and a bounty of fresh fruits, complemented by the essence of the island's fresh air, crafting an ambiance of elegance. Top notes are green stems and cassis, with heart notes of fresh fig, rose petal, lily, and muguet, which is French for lily of the valley, and base notes of hyacinth and cedar. This one does not contain vanillin or essential oils, so let's see what Santorini Figs and Crystalline Linen does for us. So this one is a surprise for me based on the name at least, because it's not what I would think of as a typical linen fragrance. At least not like any linen fragrance I've sampled recently. This is an extremely earthy fragrance, very green. The green stems is very much the dominant fragrance here for me. That rose and some of the florals, they're in there, but I really have to search for them. The throw for this one out of the bottle and on the strip is good, a bit above average, and this is one of the stronger ones I've sampled here today. Yeah, this is a very summer fragrance, I think. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5, but I have the feeling I'm going to come back to it later again to explore it more. Yeah, I think this one as a candle is going to smell better than off the strip because I think it will become less strong and wax, which might benefit this fragrance actually. Yeah, this is Santorini Figs and Crystalline Linen. Next we have Phuket Paradise and Ginger Glow. Makesy says this fragrance oil weaves a captivating tapestry of Phuket's paradise with ginger warmth, lush coconut creaminess, and the mysterious depth of amber, inviting an exotic and enchanting voyage. Top notes are ginger, lime, and tropical breeze. The heart note is lotus coconut, and base notes are amber, musk, and guaiac wood. And it also contains a number of essential oils. I can tell you from the fragrance notes, this one sounds right up my alley, so let's see what Phuket Paradise and Ginger Glow does for me. Okay, so this one is a lot sweeter than I thought it would be. It must be the tropical breeze that I'm getting off the top because I get like a sweet, airy quality, almost reminiscent for me of tea. But it's actually the ginger playing with the breeze, I think. This oil has a berry-like fruity type quality to it. You know, I'm not a huge fan of berry or fruit fragrances, but I appreciate how this one uses the amber and musk to make this more interesting by giving it more depth and complexity. Even though this is not going to be amongst my personal favorites reviewed here today, and again, this is just my own opinion, I can still see this as a candle burning in a high-end store. If you're a fan of berry or sweeter smelling fragrances, I would recommend you try this one because again, it's very interesting, just not my cup of tea. The fragrance throw out of the bottle and on the strip is actually quite strong as well. This is Phuket Paradise and Ginger Glow, and I'm going to give this one 3 out of 5. For our next fragrance, I have Copacabana Charm and Tropical Paradise. Makesy says this fragrance oil captures Copacabana's essence, blending samba rhythms and sea breezes with tropical fruits and lush palms, embodying beach charm and a paradise allure. Top notes of passion fruit, pitanga, and bitter orange make way for heart notes of pink pineapple, zesty pomelo, and mango blossom, with base notes of Tahitian vanilla, sugar musk, and creamy sandalwood. This one contains a small amount of vanillin if wax discoloration concerns you, and does contain bitter orange essential oil. Alright, so here we have Copacabana, Charm, and Tropical Paradise. So this one for me is another very fruity fragrance, and again, those are not my favorite fragrances, so keep that in mind for this review. Up front, the passion fruit and pineapple are the strongest elements for me, which give this one a very fruity characteristic, more so than the last fragrance. I do get the sandalwood at the base, and that does come through fairly well, but I feel like a lot of the other components are getting lost in the sweetness of the fruit notes. The throw out of the bottle and on the strip is average, maybe slightly above average. I personally would see this one more as a fun hand soap, but for someone who enjoys these fruity type fragrances, I'm sure it would absolutely make a wonderful candle. Just again, not my favorite type of fragrance, and for that reason, I give this one 3 out of 5. The next fragrance I'm going to review is Japanese Onsen and Forest Bathing. When I was reading all the fragrance names, I have to say this one I was most excited to try. Onsen, if you don't know, refers to hot springs and traditional bathing facilities found throughout Japan, so I think the name evokes something perhaps ozonic. Makesy describes the fragrance as inviting you into the serene world of a Japanese onsen, where forest tranquility and earthy calm mingle, offering a soulful retreat into nature's heaven. Top notes are green bergamot, clementine, woodland accord, with heart notes of eucalyptus, muguet, and vetiver grass, and base notes of tree moss, crushed patchouli leaves, and rich cedar. So now let me dive into my most anticipated fragrance of this collection, Japanese Onsen and Forest Bathing. So wow, first thing I'm going to say is that this fragrance is not as ozonic as what I was expecting. There is a woodsy and slight spiciness to this, which is probably from the patchouli leaves. Second thing I'm going to say is that I absolutely love this fragrance. Let me think, how do I even begin describing this? First, the throw out of the bottle and on the strip is below average. This is not knocking me out by any means, but the fragrance itself is beautifully blended, and so I'm not getting any one note very intensely. I get a little bit of green at first with some cedar and the most tiny amount of sweetness from the clementine. The patchouli, which is also just barely there, is elevating this, along with what I believe is the vetiver grass and eucalyptus, which lighten it up. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but I can see wearing this as a fragrance right out of the bottle just like this. This is not necessarily a masculine or feminine fragrance, just something very elegant and very fresh. I can see this as a wonderful candle, perfume, or hand soap, and wow, Makesy really knocked this one out of the park. I give this oil a resounding 5 out of 5. This is Japanese Onsen and Forest Bathing. The next oil I'm going to review for you is Bora Nectar and Paradise Orchid. Makesy says this fragrance oil transports you to the exotic allure of Bora, where tropical nectar and orchids bloom, creating a paradise of natural fruity sweetness and floral escape. Top notes are coconut, lemon, and orange, with heart notes of eucalyptus and peach, with base notes of vanilla and raspberry. And so I have here another more fruity sounding fragrance, so let's see what Bora Nectar and Paradise Orchid does for me. Wow, you know what? This is a fruity fragrance I can get on board with. My very first impression, and I know this sounds crazy, but it's almost like a cream soda fragrance or some kind of soda. There's like an effervescence to this fragrance that I cannot put my finger on. I get the coconut, and along with the eucalyptus, that is definitely contributing to the airiness of this fragrance, and I for sure get a little peach and raspberry. The peach is probably the most recognizable fragrance for me to pick out, but it is all very complex, so it's not just an in-your-face fruity fragrance, but rather more airy and more upscale. The throw out of the bottle and on the strip is slightly below average, so not blowing me away, but wow, this one for me is the most appealing fruit fragrances I've sampled in a while. This is Bora Nectar and Paradise Orchid, and I will give this one a 5 out of 5. For the next oil, I have California Blossoms and Citrus Zephyr. Makesy describes this oil as capturing vibrant citrus zest mingling with petals under the California sun, crafting a tribute to endless sunny skies and dreams in full flourish. Top notes are bergamot, Satsuma mandarin, which I love, Pink pepper with middle notes of plum blossom, red dahlia, and raspberry sorbet. Base notes of cedarwood and dreamwood, which is a sandalwood-like fragrance. This one does contain a lot of essential oils, so I will be curious about how strong this one throws in a burning candle, because again, sometimes essential oils, while having the benefit of being completely natural, struggle with their hot throw. So let me see what California Blossoms and Citrus Zephyr does for me. So my first impression of this one is that this is a citrus-forward, fun, fruity fragrance. The more I get into it, the more the fruity fragrance dissipates, giving way to the cedar and the dreamwood. I'm also definitely getting something floral, which I assume is the plum blossom. Oh yeah, and that mandarin. And mandarin I'm finding is one of my favorite fragrances right now. I also get a little bit of that pink pepper, which is giving it some life and some freshness. The throw off the strip is slightly above average too. I could see this one in a candle, hand soap, or maybe like a feminine body spray. I really do like this one, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, but I want to note that it's getting better and better for me while the fragrance develops on the strip. So this is one that I'll come back to later and sample again. That's California Blossom and Citrus Zephyr. And now my final fragrance for the day is Sicily Summer and Musk di Sole. Makesy describes this one as unfolding a Sicilian summer where the depth of a citrus medley meets floral sweetness and musk seduction, capturing the spirit of sun-kissed skin and endless captivation. Top notes are bergamot, clementine leaves, and bergamot zest, with heart notes of honeysuckle buds, black currant, and jasmine, with base notes of solar musk, precious woods, and white moss. This one does not contain vanillin and does contain both orange and bergamot essential oils. So a beautiful and appealing description. Now let's see what Sicily Summer and Musk di Sole does for me. So I immediately know what kind of scent this is. I get that clean citrus right up front, but rather than lemon, which I've come to expect from Southern European inspired fragrances, they have used clementine leaves, which is giving me almost like a citrus peel fragrance, along with that beautiful green in the leaves and that bergamot zest. Wow, this is extremely fresh and zesty, but just balanced out with a touch of sweetness. It is also a tiny bit floral, like a tropical floral, just a touch of that honeysuckle and a little musk, which is making it more interesting. Wow, that is a fantastic clean fragrance, which will surely work in a candle, and I can see this in a soap as well. Very summer, very clean, very nice. Fragrance throw out of the bottle and on the strip is average and not at all overpowering, considering it is a citrus-leaning fragrance. This one again is Sicily Summer and Musk di Sole, and I will give it a 5 out of 5. So that concludes my review of Makesy's Destinations Fragrance Oil Discovery Kit. But before I rank these oils for you, let me just remind you one last time that if you enjoyed this video, to please like and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell so you're notified when I release more content, including the companion video to this review, where I will pick my favorite oils from the day and make candles using Makesy's wood wicks and their aura vessels. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all your support. Thanks everyone. I want to say that I was very impressed by all of Makesy's oils I reviewed here today. I also want to take a moment again and recognize the beautiful packaging and presentation of these oils, which definitely elevated the experience. The inclusion of the fragrance strips is a really nice touch as well. On the downside, while I think these little glass bottles look amazing, they have stoppers in them which I find a bit hard to work with, and for some reason the bottles are just a little leaky. And even though they did not leak in transit, they did leak after I opened the bottles for the first time and removed the stoppers. I will also say that while all the oils seem very upscale, some of them had a lighter fragrance throw off the strip. Of course, this is not necessarily an indication of how strong the candle will throw in wax, but just an observation, and since some of these do use a good deal of essential oils, I am very curious to pour these into wax so I can experience the hot throw. My top 5 as of today from these Destinations fragrance oils are: number 1, Japanese Onsen and Forest Bathing; number 2, Fleur de Provence and Vanilla Lumiere; number 3, Moroccan Orris and Pink Suede; number 4, Wild African Violets and Black Tonka; number 5, Sicily Summer and Musk di Sole. My least favorite fragrance in this collection was Copacabana Charm and Tropical Paradise, which, as I said, was just too fruity for my liking. Santorini Figs and Crystalline Linen, which while a very original and interesting fragrance, I'm just not sure how that one would sell for me. On the whole, I really love this collection and the entire unboxing experience. You really couldn't go wrong with any of these oils, and again, if you're interested in purchasing this Destinations Fragrance Oil Discovery Kit or any of the oils in it, you can use my affiliate link along with my promo code ArtfulGlow10, which is provided down below to save 10% on your entire purchase. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all next time when I review some of these fragrances in wax using a few different Makesy wood wick types and their beautiful and cute 2.5 ounce Aura vessels. See y'all next time.